Welcome back. Welcome back, WNYWaterCooler.com podcast. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. I mean, it's your fault if you can't find us. Stephen Coast.
Jan man, what's going on?
Do the Bills ever just lose like a not like a just a humdrum game? I don't know. Maybe
Never,
that's how the NFL is, but I don't know.
never. Every loss. I don't know. Is it normal when teams lose close games that there's just shocking things that happen, or is it just the Bills that this happens to?
It's tough to say because I mean, either the games matter and you really pay attention closely, or you just don't really care that they lose. I don't know. There's no other team that I really closely pay attention to. There's always a couple game plays in every game that oh this goes that way, they do this or whatever. But I mean, the way the Bills
Stuff.
lose, these are like every game is so remarkable. Like they come up with a name for them.
What's this one called? The timeout game, or
Probably or the first and one QB run. I don't know.
dude? I was despondent after the timeout. That honestly, besides 13, I'm not even exaggerating. That was the dumbest coaching decision I've ever seen. It was incredible. The only way you throw away your chances to win is by calling a timeout. And they knew they couldn't call a timeout. They drove the ball, what, 69 yards without calling a timeout in 40 seconds. They get to the
Yeah,
1 yard line, and it's just incredible. It's incredible. If you call a timeout, the game's over, basically. You need a miracle. With the three timeouts, you never know. I mean, what? Maybe you have a 20% chance, but that goes to basically zero. I mean, it was just crazy. I could not believe it. I really could not believe it.
well, yeah. I mean, it was insane to take it. Like the whole half, you're thinking, oh, I gotta keep these timeouts. Can't just use them for nothing. You drive down and just basically easily get down to the 1 yard line. I was thinking, I don't know if I woke up yesterday or today. I don't know, but how did we get down to the one? I was gonna go back and look at it. I don't even know.
Well,
What?
I'm trying to remember what happened. We got to like midfield or something. I can't remember how, but we had a 4th and 15, and Allen threw it to Shakir, and there was a PI, and then we had it first down at like the 15, and then we threw it in the end zone to Cooper, and there was another PI,
Oh, okay.
which actually it might have ended up hurting us because that's what got us to the one, and that's what caused the fiasco. I mean, I
It,
when we were at midfield, I was like, with however much time left, I was like, get it to the 30 and kick a field goal.
I was kind of
Like
hoping for a quick field goal too.
you have a chance if you have those three timeouts, and that's your only chance. And after that whole game, the craziness of that game, and to have a chance at the end, and then to have the coach just squander it, insanity, man. And it's like they knew it though. They knew what they needed to do the whole time, and they just panicked. And if you're gonna call a QB sneak, run your normal QB sneak, dude. It was like the
That's the two
same.
things. That's the two things. You run the QB sneak, the normal one we do. I'm thinking, okay,
Dude,
we're not running a QB sneak with this formation because we just have the tight end there.
yeah,
But then the thing that had heard no person say, no one talk about, is we ran a QB sneak on second down.
yeah. And then we did a
And
normal. Well, because now we're at like the foot line, and we did a normal QB sneak on second down, dude.
okay,
Remember
yeah,
the
so 2 feet,
Titans?
24 inches, maybe. I mean, but
Remember the
still,
Titans game? Remember the Titans game where Allen fell on 4th and 1 when he tried to sneak it? That Monday
yeah,
nighter. It
yeah.
was the same thing.
He
We were
slipped.
like we went in the shotgun, and then we like got to the
He
line quick.
hustled up.
Yeah, just do it. If you're gonna sneak it, do your normal sneak. I don't
You
understand
don't need to catch
anything that
him off
happens.
guard. You don't need to catch him off guard because they know it's
No,
coming and they don't stop it anyway. He's 6'6", 250, whatever he is.
every
You
time we sneak it, they know we're sneaking it. Like, who are you
exactly.
trying to what? How are you trying to trick? It's
There's no
crazy.
Yeah, there's no tricking, there's no surprising. They can't stop it just like you can't stop the Eagles. The Eagles thing is because Hurts has huge legs. The Allen thing is because he's 6'6" and you either pick left or you pick right. And we know where our center is going to push or we know where our guard's going to push and they don't. So you have it's just an inherent advantage.
It is, and regardless, either way, it should have been five wide shotgun. You can run three, four plays into the end zone in 10 seconds. The whole thing is crazy, and
Yeah,
this
you
is what
you could definitely
concerns.
run 3 plays in 12 seconds.
Yeah, and this is what bothers me is because this it's so obvious what you shouldn't do, and he does it, and it's just
The
like
thing though, the one thing though, everyone rips McDermott, which I mostly want to. How much is he have to say about what plays we're running? I can't imagine he's the one that's like these. The offensive coordinator does that. So that's
I
the
don't know
overarching problem, though. That's the overarching problem with the whole
that
thing we have
it's
is we have a
yeah.
defensive coach who I almost guarantee, with having zero knowledge of it, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't talk to Allen ever.
I got to imagine that he had input on that play. I really do. I like that sequence of the game. You're the head
Oh.
coach. You need to know. You just man. Maybe maybe not. But if he doesn't, he should. Like you're on the. You got the headset on. You're like Brady. We're not. We're throwing. Like if he doesn't, he should because it's not a play call thing. It's just a game management, clock management thing, which they nailed it the whole drive, which is the maddening part. They
But
knew what they
I just
needed to
think
do.
it's just what makes it worse is we ran a QB sneak on second down. I don't care that we were 14 inches or 20 inches closer.
Yeah.
That to me, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't
Well,
see a
yeah.
replay. Did Allen slip or he just kind of he got
I,
pushed back by the
I don't.
guard?
I think he might. I don't know, but well, once you use one timeout, then you might as well sneak it because at that point it doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I
At
mean,
that point you're screwed. And yeah, as soon as you use one timeout, you need to recover an onside kick no matter what. So it just doesn't really matter at that point. But it's just your chances
maybe,
go
but
from
teams
having a
fuck up all the
chance
time.
to not having a fucking chance.
Teams fuck
No
up
one
all the time. They
recovers
could have
onside
passed.
kicks.
Well, no, they could have thrown a pass and stopped the clock or something. But the other thing where obviously I would be more harsh on him is he loves this Smiley guy. They've been coaches together forever or something.
Yeah,
Like they they
I'm about to
they
walk past his house, so
they cuck each
I
other.
gotta.
I don't know what they do. They Whatever they do, this guy who what did he do before we offed our old off special teams guy? So we get
I
this
don't know.
guy who's been here forever, or whoever this guy is. I don't know. You mow his lawn, sounds like. Uh, Hopefully he's got a hot wife or something. I don't know, but he's the special teams coach now, who's been McDermott's lapdog forever. I don't know. I mean, I guess I've sort of heard that. We have 9 guys
Yeah.
for the punt. So A, you're never gonna block it. B, you're never gonna block them. C, the motherfucker doesn't even catch it.
Yeah, having nine guys on the field is comical. I mean, I didn't give a shit because the game was over, but the
I don't
returner,
know. Shit happens, but well,
the
I mean,
the
whatever.
returner not fielding it. It's like I don't know. It's like you got to tell the guy, dude, you're fielding this punt. I don't care if you get fucking hit harder than you've ever been hit. Our only chance is you fielding this punt. Field the punt,
To
and he
not
just lets it
field it,
bounce. The game's over.
not field it, and have 9 guys out there. That is on these two guys. I mean, they're lucky that we're
Yeah,
10-2, 10-3 now, or whatever. If this happened last year when we needed to rattle off wins, I mean,
like having 12 men on a field goal.
Yeah, I mean that was a little earlier in the year, but that's similar. Yeah, it's analogous, but
10th game of the season, I think. I mean, it was a little earlier in the year. You're right, but it wasn't early in the year. But
yeah.
I mean, it's an ins that it's yeah. I mean, that was a fireable offense in itself. So
Isn't someone out there counting? I mean, I mean, maybe the Denver. We probably didn't have a timeout. I don't.
well, it was a quick change. No, remember they had to rush their field goal unit on the field,
Oh
and
yeah.
we just weren't prepared. We just weren't prepared. And the punt, 9 guys. I don't know. Who knows? 2 guys probably pissed. Just went in the locker room. I don't really. I mean, it's laughable, but the game was over. And Codrington did not fielding it. Embarrassing. I don't know. The whole sequence, man. It was just. It's a tough one. To go add it to the list. Add it to the list. As soon as I start, I love McDermott. I want him. I think last week I was like he should be coach of the year, and then we get this timeout, and I'm just like left befuddled, bamboozled. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
you're like a
Crazy.
high school chick. Like, oh, she's dating him or something. But it was a bad ending. I mean, what's worse? Just pile it on. Chiefs fucking doinking a field goal. I mean, I fell asleep. I
Crazy.
missed the end of the game, but
Yeah.
just oh yeah, they get another lucky, lucky, lucky fucking win. Just five lucky wins.
Well, they know how to finish games, man. They know they're clutch. In the fourth quarter, they just know what they're doing. That's how. That's it. That's how good they are. Championship caliber team. That team blows, man. They're the luckiest team. If we play them at Arrowhead in the playoffs, we're going to win by 20 plus. I guarantee. Mark that down. 38-13. That team is not good, man. They're barely the only difference between the Jets and the Chiefs is the Chiefs have
There we
gotten
go.
lucky and won all these close games, and the Jets have the opposite happen. I mean, they're basically the same team. Said it last week. I mean, obviously Andy
One
Reid's a
team's
better
won
coach
the
than
last two Super Bowls.
I
I
don't
mean,
care, dude. They're 12-1 with a plus like 54 point differential. It's incredible what they're doing. Incredible. It defies logic. And they're not like clutching up and winning these games. The other teams, we talked about it last week, I think. They're choking over and over and over. I mean, doinking one off the post is pretty lucky. Um, but I mean, it's not the other team choking; it's luck. But they've had a lot of wins where the other team just kind of imploded. It's going to catch up to them. I believe. I still think they can lose out. I think I got them losing to Cleveland this week. They could lose the rest of their games. I really believe that. This luck cannot continue.
well,
I mean, how many games are they going to win scoring 19 points, 17 points? Come on.
the defense is playing well.
I guess. I mean, they gave up 27 to Carolina. Whatever.
Jesus
I don't know,
Christ,
man.
fired up.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
I
you were
just
so fired up.
been stuck in the house all day.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah. Then they're like, oh yeah. How many times is this like? Maybe it's just because we hear our own local people. They're like, oh, the Bills are in the game of the year,
Yeah.
and they really
Well,
somehow never really go our way. But
I mean, we just beat KC. Um, I feel like every year, this might actually, I wonder if this is the case. We have some really bizarre loss to an NFC team, and then we end up like running the table. Last year was Philly. That a couple years ago was Tampa. Remember the Tampa game?
yeah,
Um,
Tom. Yeah,
yeah,
Tommy.
and maybe not last year. I can't really remember last year. Yeah, last year was Philly. 2 years ago, whatever. Minnesota. I think that was our last loss of the season. I don't know. So hopefully we can. The same thing can happen, but obviously it's a little different when you're playing a team that's 12-1. Again, another. You know,
Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing. The total for the Bills Lions is the highest this year. I don't know if it's the highest in a couple years or not, 54 and a half, but their defense is like
Straight
decimated.
up.
I the Lions,
Well, they
I don't
got the
know. This
two
team,
straight last second wins. Well, I
yeah,
mean, they got lucky as hell against Chicago, and then they got
well,
last second win against Green Bay. So
yeah,
playing with
they
fire a little bit.
they reminded me of a little bit of these Chiefs games, but
Yeah, but
I don't
they're
know. Campbell, I mean, like that game, yeah, the Green Bay game, he's going for it on fourth down when you're not supposed to. So if a coach doesn't go for it and they lose, their precious percentages, 3 or 4%, it goes down. The smart guys just rip them, rip them, rip them, rip them. But if you go for it when you're not supposed to, eh,
no one cares.
yeah, he
Yeah,
gave up 3 or 2 or 4%, whatever the stupid percentages are they come up with. But no
yeah.
one rips him for that. No one rips him.
Well, they got lucky too. I mean, golf balls taking the
Yeah,
snap, and
yeah, he falls and he takes a knee in college. That's game over basically. But yeah, okay, yeah, he hands it off, which yeah, you're like that was lucky as hell.
yeah,
How many
and
times do you trip and fall and go on your knee and you hand it off and you get positive yardage?
not
Uh,
often.
it's
They
probably 50-50 at best.
I mean, Green Bay was out of timeouts, right? And yeah, I mean, it was overly aggressive. You get the field goal there, you're probably most likely going to win. I don't know. I mean, like you said, it was the nerds say it was a negative. It's like the only time ever going for it is like a negative for these math nerds. But
Isn't that
yeah,
you? But,
no, I hate math nerds with analytics. I can't stand the
oh,
people that
momentum, baby.
what I love momentum, culture, momentum. That shit's huge. If you've ever played a sport, you cannot tell me that momentum is not real. These people are humans with like emotions, and like when stuff starts going bad, you start gripping. I mean, it's just what happens
Well,
in
part of
life.
it is just part of it. We argue about this 3 or 4 times a year, but yeah, I mean, part of it is, oh, you could just throw a fucking 80-yard pass and momentum is gone. But,
Well, yeah, you can
there
break
is
the
some,
momentum, but
there's definitely in certain spots, there's definitely emotions and tensions and
oh yeah,
choking.
you ever play poker? I mean, it's everything. When they say you're on tilt, it's the same thing. You start pressing a little bit.
When
Like
was the last time you played poker?
it's been a while, probably for the best, but I need a little poker session or blackjack.
Get
Yeah,
to the
it's been too long.
casino. Scoop me.
Hey, it's snow day tomorrow. Um, yeah, man, it's I don't even know where we were
Well,
going with that,
Campbell.
but
Campbell.
oh, Campbell, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. The math nerds in sports. I just hate when coaches get ripped for decisions that change win probabilities by like 1%. Just drives me nuts. But you're right; they got to be consistent with the. If
Well,
you're gonna rip them,
that's
if
my
it was the
point.
other way around and if Campbell made a decision that was a +3, like you said, they would have been. Or if he punted or did something that was a -3, he would have got destroyed.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, Joe.
And the Lions, I'm gonna look up who did the Lions beat in the playoffs last year? I mean, this team, I want to discredit them as much as I possibly can, and I think I'm wrong for discrediting this team. I mean, they have Goof, who I don't know, Goof, the guy,
Who did they beat in the
he's
playoffs?
won a lot of freaking games, and he wins big games. He's been successful in the playoffs,
He's an average
but
NFL
I see
quarterback
the
that it can
guy.
excel with a great team.
Well, it's
That's as
funny
simple as that.
because the thing is, yeah, look who he's had as his offensive like coaches. He's
And
had this Ben Johnson guy who I guess everyone just fawns over or whatever. Like, he's probably a good guy, a good like a smart
he's
guy,
got
but
their offensive line is like best in the league. He's got stud receivers, two stud running backs, stud tight end. I mean, he's in an absolute dream situation. And with the Rams, he had McVay and Cooper. I
All
can't
right.
remember
So
how
they
how
beat
that
the
game went,
Rams
but
last year by 1 point
yeah. Oh yeah,
at
that's right.
home.
Hmm.
They beat the Buccaneers,
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I
Oh,
mean, you're talking
should have
about
beat the Rams. Could have beat the Niners though.
by 8, and then they were up by a billion points against the Niners and choked and lost. So
You remember what happened in that game?
yeah, they went for it and didn't get it.
Well, no, in the Niners game,
The ball
they were
bounced off the guy's head and they
yeah,
caught it. And
ridiculous. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I
ridiculous.
watched the game, but they, but
Me too.
their road to the NFC Championship game was not exactly tough. Baker Mayfield and a Rams team that okay, they beat them, but I mean, they
I
gave
feel
up
like
more yardage. They
were the Rams healthy for that game? Did they have their play? I feel like the Rams just never have like all their guys. Maybe they did then, but this Nakua kid is incredible. How this guy he runs a slow 40 time and drops 5 rounds? Like how does a dude like that drop to the fifth round?
because he went to BYU and he was like a or no,
I mean,
did he go to BYU? Or he went to some weird school.
he might be the best receiver the Bills have played against in outside of maybe
Well,
that Jefferson
I was saying
game.
that all game. I'm like, this guy. I'm talking to my children. I mean, there's no one else around. I'm screaming to my children. These catches this guy is making are not pot. Like
He had
he's
a couple.
making
He had a couple.
dive.
He
He
also
had three that were game changing catches.
well, he had
I
the
mean,
one on the sideline, but
another
he was
fourth
also
down
wide
one.
open
Yeah,
on a few.
he was open on a few, but the guy was just he's a maniac.
He was incredible. I mean, we couldn't guard him. Even when we were guarding him, we couldn't guard him. It was. I mean, Benford, Johnson, these guys got absolutely abused. I mean, it was the worst game of Taron Johnson's career probably. And Benford looked like a fourth rounder going up against a stud player. And he just and
Yes,
Rasul looked like old and shouldn't be playing. It's I mean, it was a pathetic performance by the defense. We didn't really talk about it because of the timeout, but
it
you
was
know,
bad.
these
When you're 10 of 12 on third down, I mean,
yeah,
isn't that the
atrocious.
coach?
10 to 12 on third down. And yeah, they started 9 to 10 on third down. I think they were 12 to 16 in the game on third and fourth down. Um, you know, we decline. We accept the holding, which we didn't talk about, which I actually agreed with. But then we just play like a soft defense and just give them 12, like a free. You're gonna
Well,
accept the
that's
hold.
what that made me mad. That play I did not like at all.
If you're gonna accept the hold, great. You don't want them to be in position to go for it on fourth down. I agree. But you have to be wicked aggressive on that third and 17 and try and force an incomplete pass or like no gain because what they did on defense on third and 17 to just give them an easy 12-yard completion.
Yeah,
What
that
are you
makes
doing?
no sense to do that. If you're gonna
No
make them
sense.
push them back, then you might as well, like you said, blitz them or play up on them tight. Because if you give
Yeah,
them 10 yards, you're just giving it right back to them and you're losing time when you're
exactly.
losing.
Exactly. I mean, you got to blitz there. You got to bring the house, bump these receivers, and hope for a miracle. I mean, the front four did not show up at all. I mean, disgraceful performance by the front four. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean this guy Oliver that we had to keep him.
we kept him. He's on the team. Jeez, I wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, so that Rams game, just to circle back on that real quick. Stafford had
Circle back.
367 passing. Nakua he played. He had 181 receiving. Cooper Kupp had 9 targets. He only had 27 yards, but uh, they had most of their guys. So they had their big
Oh, in
guys.
the
Kyron
playoff game.
played. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goof
Yeah.
had 277. I don't know. He didn't have a great game.
He had 5 picks like 4 weeks ago against Houston,
Yeah,
and
but
they won.
then he didn't throw an interception for like a month and a half.
I mean, didn't they beat a team like 50 something to whatever, and he threw for like 50 yards?
Yeah, they've had some weird ones, but
Yeah. I mean, they are loaded, but the injuries on defense. I mean, we should be able to have success offensively, but I'm afraid we're going to need to score 40. I mean, I guess if you're going to have a embarrassing defensive performance, that was a good time for it because if this team's ever going to be motivated on defense to have a good game, it's going to be this. I mean, they were embarrassed, and
Yeah, but the other
now they
thing
get
is, your Sunday night game, and then you'd go all the way to LA. I mean, to make an excuse for the defense, but
no. I get it. I get that. I mean, it is
and
a
it's an
short week.
NFC team.
You
But
just clinched the
who was
division.
predicting who would predict the Rams would have had more than 30 points in that game? I'd like to see anyone that
No,
predicted the Rams would have 30 plus points, and they end up with 44. Well, okay,
yeah,
if they end up with 37, the fucking another thing with the
38,
special teams
38.
coach, the block punt.
That was
Ah,
like the easiest block punt I've ever seen. I mean, it was like in slow motion. Like Martin was like taking his time, getting
He
rid of
was
it, and
taking his time. I'm like,
yeah,
what's he doing clutching? I'm like, oh,
yeah. It seemed like he thought all the time in the world to get rid of it, and then Reed Ferguson just gets tossed on his ass, and next thing you know, it's sticks the other way. It was gross.
I definitely saw him kind of like flip the ball like
Yeah,
nonchalantly when he's
yeah,
punting. I'm like, we're fucked.
yeah.
And then
I
the funny
agree.
thing is the Bengals game, they block it. And I was trying to think of what the rules were. I forgot. There's so many
Yeah,
goddamn rules. I used to know all these rules. So they block in the Bengals game, they block it, but it went forward.
past the first down marker, and then the Cowboy
But
dude touched
it
it, so
wasn't
then it
even
was a
after.
live
I don't
ball.
think it was before. I think it was before the first down marker, but because it was a punt that went
Change in
forward,
possession.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
so
the
it's
Rams play
yeah,
wasn't a turnover. So first time in 256 games where the Bills had, or any team had six touchdowns and no turnovers. But I mean, that's kind of just,
I mean, it's a yeah, it's semantics, but I bet you some of those other games must have had like kick returns or some shit for it. I mean,
yeah,
for
probably.
that to happen, some weird stuff's got to happen. To score six TDs, have no turnovers on offense, you got to be giving up some special team stuff, and God knows. But I mean, it's just incredible, really. If we would have just lost like 44-38 and didn't have the timeout debacle, I'd be in a much better headspace right now. I'd just be like, oh, like you said, you clinched the
Well,
division on Sunday night. You got to go West Coast. Least important game left on the schedule, probably. Their Rams is must win, desperation mode. They're at home. They're healthy. Like, it's a game that's not surprising that they would lose. It's just the way that it happens and the ineptitude from the
well, you
head coach,
couch
the
cushion
special teams
fans, yeah.
coach.
I mean, you couch cushion fans just sitting there, just oh yeah, relaxing on your couch. I mean, that it's cool, but I don't
You just
know.
can't call timeout there. I mean, that's
Yeah, you
that's
really
just a
can't call a timeout there. That's pretty.
that's just that's just fucking
It seems like
incredible.
it's NFL one. I mean, and then some people are saying, "Oh, the pile up, and it'll take some time to come off." It
That's why
still
you
is.
don't call the
It's
play.
still less than
Yeah,
35 seconds when you tackle the runner on third down at the end of the
yeah.
game.
We called timeout with a minute two to go, so we could have. I'm sure we could have snapped it again with 50 seconds, and then you do the sneak again. You score. There's still 50, 48, 47 seconds left. You have three timeouts. You still have a prayer. You give Allen 30 seconds, 28 seconds. I mean, that's three plays. You just never know.
Not
Bass
to
has the
mention,
leg.
not to mention, you didn't have to. Then you wouldn't have to onside it, so you could kick it deep. So
Yeah,
the
100%.
possession, the field's flipped. But
Although the way teams punt against us, I'm sure he would have pinned us at the three probably. 78-yard punt. Anyways, good God.
so
So
the Steelers will be the 2 seed. We'll be three. We could avoid the
Steelers
Bengals. We could avoid the
Steelers got to
Bengals.
go to they got to go to Philly this week, and they won't have Pickens probably. I don't know what's going on with Philly though. Like Hurts and Brown are like fighting. I don't know what's going on with them, but Steelers
Bro,
are losing like
the
two or three
last
more
time
games.
the Eagles lost was fucking 9/11. I mean,
Yeah, they've won nine in a row.
I think that Biden was still running for re-election back the last time the Eagles lost. So And
Yeah,
think about the fucking Eagles. This team. Oh yeah, we're winning. Just cruising to NFC Championship game. Oh yeah, AJ Brown and Little Hurts are they're trying to bang the same cheerleader or something.
I
What
don't
a
know.
weird thing. Those guys
Need
got to
them to get a
fight, and
dub
then
this week though.
imagine if someone like who's on the Bills IR right now. I mean, I guess no one, but say it was there's someone on IR? No.
I
Say
don't know.
like
I mean, I think Hyde or something, and he's not on IR, but
yeah,
he's out.
say Poy yeah, say Hyde's not playing. Or say which Hyde. I always say call him Carlos Hyde. Micah Hyde. Which what do sports do our the Bills beat reporters like are they on his payroll? What why do they? There's so many tweets and stories about Micah Hyde. I don't fucking understand that. Who gives a fuck? I mean,
Kid's gonna be he's
okay,
gonna be
it's cool.
starting. He's
Yeah,
starting.
like
He's
who
our
is it?
starting
Are they all
safety for the
7 year
playoffs.
olds? Are they all like 7 year old kids? Like, oh, my hero's coming back to play. He's on the team
Yeah,
again. Like the coverage that he got for coming back, strange. It's very strange. But it's okay. So Micah Hyde's, oh yeah, I was talking to someone and Josh Allen and what's his name aren't getting along anymore. Like, and he's on WGR saying that. Imagine that. The Eagles, what the that Graham dude he's
I
on
know it's
IR. He's not
hilarious.
even playing.
It's hilarious. It really is. Really, it was funny.
And then they're all
Um,
coming out and then the coach has to go on the big Philly station and say, "Oh, no, we're good." You're like, "Okay, yeah, Sirianni, we
yeah,
fucking believe you, buddy." This guy that
yeah.
everyone had to sail, put on a ship and sail out of town.
He's probably the favorite for first coach fired in
He was.
mid
They started
September.
2-2. They started 2-2.
He's flipping off fans when they beat like who would they beat? Like some terrible team and like the Giants, and he's flipping fans off. Oh my god.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's kind of fun and entertaining, but yeah, like McDurr, we don't really get a lot of that shit. But
Yeah, I know. I love McDurr. He just needs, I don't know.
he just needs to be replaced by somebody different. I don't know who. I mean, we could always just get a. Maybe we could hire Mac Brown. He's available. I mean, Belichick. I
85
I
years
don't think
old?
I don't think I like my kids enough to like embarrass myself to go coach at fucking like Central Michigan. Oh, I need to get S- Stevie Belichick a job, so I'm gonna go to Central Michigan for 2 years and fuck off when I'm 74. That
Belichick
guy.
going to coach North Carolina is one of the most strange things that's happened. I mean, that's bizarre.
I mean, not to mention another thing. The media is just they swarm
Yeah,
over this shit. Like,
yeah,
bro, who's watching North Carolina game other than me and like seven other degenerates? Like Mac, they
yeah.
know. Do people know who their last coach was? I mean,
Belichick's gonna go on the recruiting track, or it's not even. Do coaches even recruit anymore, or is it just like scanning the
well, I'm
portal
mad.
for?
They talk to the smart. They talk to the real guys. I imagine the real people do. The real coaches could talk to the real players. Maybe
I don't
not
even
like the
understand.
depth
I don't
guys.
understand college football. I don't even understand it anymore.
But I didn't even look at any of the real like stuff about that Belichick stuff. Like it's obviously just to give Stevie a job because he was the defensive coordinator at Washington, which people I'm wondering I'm guessing 80 70% of people don't even know that. I mean I'm up for Pac-12 and they're in the Big
70,
Ten. They're in the Big Ten and the
70. You think 30% of people knew Steve Belichick was the D coordinator at Washington?
well,
30
sports fans. Did you know that?
sports. How did that percentage is under three? Two under
Well,
two.
well, I'm an actual sports fan. I don't know.
D coordinator.
I give sports fans a little
Who
more
are you,
credit than
Tim?
you.
Jesus Christ, that is.
I watch this stuff.
Nah, they're on. Those games don't start till like 11. No, not happening.
Jesus Christ.
I haven't watched the Washington games since Bledsoe. Wait, he was Washington State, I think. Anyways.
Washington was in the final last year.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
got
right. They
I
had.
Penix,
I did
baby.
know that. Yeah, Penix and Dunze. Yeah, you're right. I did maybe know that if I had a multiple choice trivia
Ay, ay,
question on my
ay.
family again. Um, so, anyways,
My 6-year-old kid knows this shit. So we got 2 minutes. Lions get back to. I mean, Dan Campbell. I mean, begrudging. I mean, he just keeps proving me wrong. I guess
love
they.
Dan Campbell.
Uh, I like him that he's kind of like fuck you to everybody. I don't
Yeah,
love just like, oh, I'm gonna go for it every single time. That seems like that's not a strategy. That's the antithesis of a strategy. But I guess it's the strategy. To me that's not. That's just being just stupid the other way. But whatever. Goof. I can't trust Goof. They had two
no.
amazing running backs. They got two. Well, they have a great receiver. I don't know about Jamison Williams. I mean, that guy's.
He's not the type of guy that
I will not bet on
kills
him.
us.
I
No,
will
he's
not
not the
bet on
type of
him.
guy that kills us.
Maybe I'll bet
Amon-Ra,
on his yardage, but we'll see.
Amon-Ra is the type of guy that kills us, though.
He's a gambler though. But
Yeah, true, he is.
Laporta
Um,
is really good tight end.
they
I
haven't
mean,
been using him this year.
yeah, he had a big catch against Packers, maybe one or two, but it's going to come down to whose defense is worse, I think, in this game. So whose
Yeah,
defense is going to be worse? We, in theory, are healthy. I don't know. I mean, some of these guys are ghosts.
yeah, we
Uh,
got some injuries on defense, but
in the secondary, yeah, which, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that's McDur's thing is the secondary. I think Milano's going to get back. Everyone's going. Well, people want to shit on Milano. Whatever. I like Milano, but give your prediction. We got nothing left here.
I mean, if there's ever a game that this defense can be motivated, I said it earlier. This is the game. They have to have their best game of the season. Force a couple interceptions from Goff. That being said, I think there's just too many. I mean, I think the Lions are just too good on the ground. So I have a tough time seeing us stopping them much. I think we score 30, but I don't think it's enough. I think the Lions win 33-30.
I'm going 35-30. Goof is. I'm not losing to Goof. I don't know. Man,
You're right. Hope you're